Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of Around the Bases because we're the day before opening day. That is, Zach. How excited are you for opening day this season?
Dude, I'm pumped up for opening day. I've never, been this excited for the start of a baseball season. I'm ready. It's about time. It's been a while. When your team finally gives you hope and then lets you down in the most painstaking way in October, you're ready for the next season.
Yeah, I mean, true that. I will ask you though, do you feel like a little less excited because of what happened with Edwin Diaz? I would imagine, I know some. I don't know about you. I'm sure a lot of Met fans are, so I gotta ask.
Yeah, it's like a combination of things. Like Carlos Correa in December,
Oh
like
yeah, dude. I forgot that even happened.
I couldn't wait for the Mets spring training. Like,
Yeah,
when you get a new guy in spring training and you just cannot wait to see him put on a Mets uniform. I
yeah.
couldn't wait for that. Then Diaz gets injured, and then it kind of took the steam out. Like Justin Verlander as a Met is still hard to comprehend. It's just weird to see him in a Mets uniform. But
Yeah.
like we lost DeGrom, now we lose Correa, now we lose Diaz, and then Brett Baty hits like 370 this spring, and they decide to stick him in AAA. So like there's just like steam has felt like feels like the Mets are like limping towards the start of the season, which is kind of terrible.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. We can kind of use this to wrap up a little bit of spring training stuff, too. I want to ask you about the Brett Brady stuff because I know some Met fans were really mad about it, and I know he was playing really well. So I want to know from your perspective about Brett Beatty. You seem mad about it, but because I know Brett Beatty, he was called up last year, so I don't know why you wouldn't just roster him this year to start the season. It doesn't really make much. I don't know if it has to do with options and stuff, but I would imagine those are probably different right now since they already called him up last year. I don't know. I don't really see why you wouldn't just call him up. Like, it's not like Eduardo Escobar's a star player. Like, he's fine, but Beatty, I think, should get a lot more starting time.
Sunglasses are off. It's time to be serious.
Okay.
Brett Baty, I'm a little. See, I'm not gonna go that far as majorly upset because I think people overreact a little bit. Like there's 162 games. Like if you call Brett Baty up on May 1st, he's playing 140 games. Like it's whatever. It's just that like it just shows you that spring training's meaningless. Like Anthony Volpe went out and had a great spring and he won the shortstop job. Like in for the Mets, Brett Baty, he has a great spring, he doesn't win it. Like what was the point of playing all those games? Like
No, right.
everyone said he struggled defensively. He had a great defensive spring. Eric Chavez, the Mets hitting coach, was a Gold Glover on the Oakland A's. He said his defense is more than ready for the big league. So I don't get it. Eduardo Escobar hit like 118 this spring too, so that
Yeah.
just makes you fired up to see him get at bats. So I mean, I'm more upset with Vientos not making the team. He had 30 bombs in spring in AAA last year. Why are you sending him back down? What more does he need to prove? Like
Mhm.
Brett Baty actually only played 15 games at AAA, and then got called up to the bigs and got hurt. So whatever, he can go back down. That's fine. He'll be up. He'll be up in a month or two. Vientos, I don't understand, especially since they cut Darren Ruff. Like the two options seemed Vientos or Darren Ruff as the right-handed DH. Neither on the team. I don't. It's a little strange.
Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense. And I feel like what happened just with going back to Beatty and stuff like that feels like the opposite of what I thought was going to happen between the Mets and Yankees. I thought the Mets would be more willing to bring up their young talent just because they have a lot of good veterans on the team, whereas
That's
the
what they did
Yankees.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I feel like the Yankees are a team that's always been so against bringing up talent too early. But the opposite happened. The Yankees brought up Volpe, which I'm super excited about. And the Mets refused to bring out Beatty. So yeah, it's definitely weird. There are some things that I feel like if I was a Met fan, I'd be like a little not concerned about, but definitely like some things that would harpen my excitement for opening day. But nonetheless, I mean, you guys still made huge signings. Is Verlander opening or is it Scherzer that's going to open?
Scherzer's throwing opening day. Verlander's got a home opener.
Okay. So when is the home opener? The seventh?
Yeah, it's like later. Verlander's starting the third game of the year.
Okay, all right, cool.
They have a very odd structure. David Peterson's actually starting the second game of the season,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
weird.
Senga's like game four. But like, I don't know. I mean, the one thing I can say I'm totally pumped up to see this season is Justin Verlander as a Met. Like, there's an argument to be made for the next two seasons. You'd rather have Justin Verlander over Jacob DeGrom, and based off the injury history and like DeGrom wasn't actually he had a 3 ERA when he came back. That's not like peak Jacob DeGrom. He looked a little more Garrett Cole-ish when he got came back because he was giving up a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
So Justin Verlander, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, one of the top five pitchers of all time is wearing a Mets uniform, and so is another one of the top 10 pitchers of all time. So, I mean, there's hope. I'm not like, it's not like the season's over. Like, the Mets have a high payroll. The roster's good. Thank God we signed David Robertson to be the setup
Yeah.
man because
Mhm.
you can't have a better fallback closer option than that. And I don't know, but I am fired up. Tomorrow is Scherzer versus Sandy. I mean, it's hard to find a better pitching matchup than that
Yeah.
all season.
That's probably going to be the best pitching matchup on opening day, no doubt. I'm glad you brought up David Robertson, though, because I am pretty curious what you think about the bullpen. Because that was a problem for the Mets last year. And now that Edwin Diaz is gone, I mean, you're essentially replacing him with David Robertson. But I don't know how confident I feel in the Mets bullpen going forward. Like, I think the offense was fine, more than we'll make up for it. But I definitely think, like, down the stretch, I'm a little worried about the bullpen.
I felt so good about the bullpen coming into the season. We had Diaz, Robertson, Ottavino, Rayleigh, and Drew Smith. That's as good of a back five as you'll find in Major League Baseball. Now, I mean, the Mets were 89-0 when leading after 8 innings last season. 89-0. That's how good the back end of the bullpen was in Diaz. Like Ottavino had a 2 ERA. That's not going to happen again. Him and Robertson were good elite pitchers 5 years ago. They're still good pitchers. They don't throw hard though. And that's a concern. Robertson walks a lot of guys. I like Drew Smith, but no, there's definitely some concerns in the back of the bullpen. Just when you don't have a closer, I think Buck Showalter should manage more like Aaron Boone. You don't need a closer. Just mix and match. Whatever the best matchup is. Is Wandy's the hot guy? He's in the back of the pen.
Mm-hmm.
If Brooks Raley, the lefty, is the best pitcher in the bullpen, put him last. Like, just mix and match. I don't think you need to just have David Robertson's the closer. But man, it is good they signed him. It felt like overkill when they signed him. Like, why do we have 3 ex-closers on the roster? And now it's like, thank God.
Yeah, right. And obviously, like Robertson and Ottavino aren't going to be Edwin Diaz, but I think the two of them combined and sharing those reps, especially like I think you're right. I think Buck should do it like Aaron Boone does, where it's like, okay, the 8th inning, best part of the lineup's coming up. Who's the hot hand right now? Like whether it be Ottavino, Robertson, or somebody else, like that's who should go in, I think, to close out these games.
Yeah, and that like when people were like the Edwin Diaz, it's almost like they're not making a big enough deal of Edwin Diaz getting injured. Like 89-0 after 8 inning lead. Like you're gonna blow some saves here. The Mets didn't blow any saves. They won 101 games. I feel like he's 6 or 7 wins by himself last season. The Mets won a lot of 1-run games. That's 6 or 7 games in the division right there, especially when you have the Braves and the Phillies, who are 2 of the top 5 teams in baseball too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I think I still think this. I want to say this is the Mets division to lose still, I think, in some degrees, but the Braves are coming up really good. Do you have confidence that the Mets are going to win the division?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, the Braves have won it 5 years in a row, and they won 101 games last year, and Acuna missed half the games, and Albies missed half the games, and Matt Olson stunk for the first half of the season, and they won 101 games. So that's a little scary. We'll get into predictions in a little bit, but I feel like I sound very negative about the Mets season. I'm actually not negative. I think Francisco Lindor is going to have like an MVP type season. I think he's 3rd season. He's comfortable. Pete Alonso is going to hit some tanks. And similar to the Yankees, if you look at the Mets or Yankees right now, neither team has a roster that you feel like is going to win the World Series. You don't have to have the roster that's going to win the World Series on April 1st. You have to have it on October 1st. They'll both make some big moves at the deadline because they both have some veterans. Like Vogelback, I love that guy. If he's hitting 8th on opening day, that's a problem because why would your DH be hitting 8th? Like your DH stinks if he's hitting 8th. Tommy Pham's going to be getting regular at bats. Then you have Donaldson and Hicks playing. Like those guys are not starting in a World Series.
No. Well, that's the thing too, right? Because I mean, like with the Yankees and the way that they're structured right now, I mean, having Volpe in there is like a huge jolt, I think, to that infield and just to the lineup in general. He offers good contact, good speed, which I think the Yankees haven't had. Oswaldo Cabrera is nice too. Like I know he did play last year. At first, he struggled with the bat, but he started to find himself a little bit. And I think a full season of him playing is going to be a lot different than what he was last year. I think he hit like 4 or 5 bombs in the spring training. I think he batted like 315 or something, like 320. And I know it's just spring training, but still, that's pretty exciting. I'm really fired up about Oswaldo. I think he's a guy that like obviously he kind of came out of nowhere last year. But I think he can be a really important piece of this Yankees team, just from an energy standpoint in the locker. Because, everybody wants to talk about that the human side of baseball doesn't matter. It does. I think you can't ignore that. Yeah, statistics are huge, but if you don't have glue guys and Joe guys in that locker room or guys that just bring the energy up, you're not going to go anywhere as a team. So I think having Oswaldo there to bring up that energy, same thing with Volpe, like you have the leader in Aaron Judge. You got Rizzo, who's a little fun. But you got a lot of hardcore guys in there too. Carlos Rodon, Garrett Cole, Josh Donaldson, Glaber. I think those are a lot of like, player first guys, play the game first. So it's fun to have some kids in there that are really going to jolt some life, I think, into this dugout. But yeah, I think when you look at this roster, it doesn't look like one that's going to end up being a World Series contender like right now. Definitely a team. I think the Yankees are definitely set up to win the division this year, especially when Bader comes back healthy and Carlos Rodon comes back healthy. But the problem I have right now with the way that the Yankees roster is structured, um, going into the season, is that we're left right now with the same two problems we had going into the trade deadline last year. We need another starting pitcher to add depth to the rotation now that Frankie Montas is going to be out for a long time, and Luis Severino is always hurt. Same issues that we've had in the past. And we have no left fielder. Same issue we had last season, and we didn't address those issues. So until we address those issues, which I mean, the answer could be Oswaldo. Having Oswaldo, Bader, Judge set up, or having Judge take left field every once in a while and Stanton right. But until those are really addressed, it's like, okay, Oswaldo's left fielder, and Judge can play left field every once in a while, and Severino's back and he's fine. He's not going to get hurt again. Or Johnny Brito comes out of nowhere and is like really good. Until those positions and those questions around those positions are answered, I don't want to say I have a lot of faith in this team, but it's just I don't feel comfortable until those questions are fully answered. You know what I mean?
No, I got you. Like Volpe looked great this spring, but people got to remember he's 21-year-old who has the pressure of being the next Derek Jeter playing shortstop for the New York Yankees. He's not going to hit 301 this year.
No, right, exactly.
He could be a good player. Ninth is the perfect spot for him to start the year. I love that they're not leading him off. Way too much pressure. Right out of the gate, hit ninth, pressure's off a little bit. But remember Kyle Higashioka hit 8 home runs last year in spring training.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, so you gotta take spring training results down too. And maybe that's another case of why Brett Beatty's not on the Mets. Like you're facing single A pitching sometimes in spring training. So whatever. But no, I agree with you. The starting rotation, man. You going into the season with 3 injured starters is just absurd. I mean, your starting rotation has Garrett Cole, Nestor, Clark Schmidt, Domingo Germán, and
Johnny Brito.
Like, that is not, I would not have confidence in 3/5 of that starting rotation. And Nestor, you almost feel like has to regress a little bit. He was so good last year. I don't think he's going to pitch at that high level, which puts a lot of pressure on Garrett Cole's shoulders. And now might finally be the time that Garrett Cole steps up and delivers a Cy Young kind of season. But the offense, I'm not that concerned about. I don't love Aaron Judge playing center field while Harrison Bader's out. I don't love putting that much. Like Aaron Judge has been relatively healthy the last couple of years. Everyone used to talk about his injury history. I feel like that's almost risking, especially if you're going to put Aaron Hicks in the lineup, put him in center field, I guess.
Well, I think we'll see that more eventually. I think, and because they also put Estevan Florial in the roster, who I think they're eventually going to trade away. But I think he might get a couple starts just for his defensive side. Like I don't think they care much about his bat.
They signed Frankie Cordero today.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I love that one. Dude. It's a big signing. So I don't know. The depth, very odd to say, because it feels like the Yankees every year, it doesn't matter who gets injured. They have depth to fill it up. Like everyone who's clamoring for IKF and Josh Donaldson and Hicks to get traded. After watching the injuries to the starting pitchers, I'd kind of be patient with that because if somebody gets injured quickly, those guys are better than the guys you would get to replace a typical player. Like all 3 of those guys are still fringe starting caliber players. If someone gets hurt, you'd rather have one of those 3 playing than some AAA player. So I think the Yankees are they're in a good spot, especially since those starters outside of Montas don't seem like long-term things. Rodon will probably be back mid-April. Severino, you can't ever count on just because he's always hurt, and that's a scary thing for him to be hurt again. But the depth is always just somehow there for the Yankees, and that's one thing the Mets now finally have is pitching depth. That makes me feel kind of confident. I think the Yankees have a good depth spot.
Oh, yeah.
I think you guys are in a good spot. The Mets have a lot of pitching depth too, so I think if these teams make deep runs, it's because guys you don't know that well step up big.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, you're talking about Donaldson before. Did you hear the rumor about Donaldson right now in spring training?
No, what'd he do?
So allegedly, he changed his swing and his approach. So like he used to have like this really high leg kick and all that. Now he stands like a lot more upright and he has like a shorter leg kick and his swing is like different. His timing on his swing is different. He hit I think he hit like 3 or 4 home runs. I'm not really confident at all that Josh Donaldson changed it. But on the Talking Yanks, they have Aaron Boone now every week on the Talking Yanks, that's pretty sick that they're able to do that. But they asked him last year he told Nestor like, "Oh, Nestor, you're going to be an all-star this year, so You know, you got a real shot. You're going to be in the rotation, you're going to be an all-star. You're like, who would you say that about this year? And he said Josh Donaldson. So that's either a really good sign or that's just him like catering to his boy Josh Donaldson because the Yankees can't admit
They
that
said
the
way too much positive stuff about Josh Donaldson this offseason. It's
I
almost
know.
like a 21-year-old they're trying to take the pressure off of. Like
I know it's ridiculous.
it's a little, yeah, I'm not staking my season in that asshole.
Yeah, no, me either. Me either. The only thing that's good is his defense. I like his defense is actually generally like very, very good. If his defense ever falls off, I want him gone. Which I already kind of want him gone, but like his
Yeah,
defense.
I don't want him done.
Yeah,
I don't
his
like those
defense-
kind of people.
Yeah. But all right, I want to jump in. Let's do a little season prediction thing. But I had an idea. What if we do like an over under thing?
All right.
All right. So we'll start with the Mets. Over under 93 wins.
I'll take the over slightly.
Whoa, you didn't seem confident, dude. I didn't like that.
I'll take the over slightly. I mean, 90, like people talk about how the Mets had a failed season. They won 101 games last year. That just doesn't happen. They've done that 4 times in franchise history.
Yeah.
93, I mean, with 6 playoff teams, all you got to do, I mean, what the Phillies won 88 last year, all you got to do is win 88 to make the playoffs or something. So I'll take the over on 93, but I think they're going to be in the 90 win range. I just lean towards the over just because they're such a veteran team.
Yeah, I could see them I'm thinking like 97 wins, 90, 95, 96, 97.
I think 93 is a good point. 93, I like that.
All right. All right. Over under for Justin Verlander. All right, we're gonna do over under wins. 10 wins.
No, I'll take the over. I'll take the over.
10 wins.
Jagrom's gone. The Mets will finally give their ace some wins.
Okay. All right. Let's do Pete Alonso over under 35 home runs.
Over 40 home runs a season. He's
40
a tank.
home runs?
Yeah, me and Jimmy almost caught one of his balls last year. He's a tank. He's gonna hit 40.
Good sign. That's a good sign.
He might hit more than 40. Breakout season incoming.
Breakout season incoming.
Breakout season stupid. He's been one of the best hitters in the league. All MVP caliber season coming.
Okay. All right. All right.
But he's not the best hitter on the Mets.
Who's the best hitter on the Mets?
Francisco Lindor.
I knew that was going to be your answer. I don't even know why I asked.
He's going to win the NL MVP this year.
NL MVP?
The pressure is off him. He's shortstop. If the New York Mets, he's the best shortstop in New York. I mean, well, base 21. I don't even need to say that. He's going to have an MVP season. Everything's locked in. It's 3rd season. He understands how to win in New York. And did you see him in the World Baseball Classic? He was on fire.
Yeah, he did do pretty good. What do you think his slash line is going to be then?
He's going to hit 305.
I don't know about that. Okay. 305?
Well, I'll tell you, he's going to hit 30 bombs.
Okay.
Don't underestimate. Citi Field fence in right field was moved in 8 feet. Those fly balls to the warning track are going to sneak out. And he's going to steal 30 bases. He's underrated steal guy. He's going to have like a 900 OPS.
I'm glad you said the stolen bases thing because I was going to ask you over under stolen bases for Lindor. So I'm glad you said 30 because I was going to.
So those are Lindor's the guy.
All right. Month of April, over under 15 wins.
Under
15 wins? Okay.
I think they start slow. I think they have a long West Coast trip where they got to play the Dodgers early in the year. 15 is a lot. I mean, how many? What, you play like 25 games? 15? Yeah, maybe 15 and 10. I just feel like they're going to start slow for some reason.
No,
I don't know. It's just it's my gut. It's my gut saying that I'm unhappy in April.
All right. I'm going to go with Max Scherzer. We'll do strikeouts for Max Scherzer. Over under 160.
Oh, smash the over.
Smash the over. Okay.
In the 200s.
Okay. 200 easy. Trying to think if there's anything else I could think of on this. No, I think that's what I got. I don't know. I'm just coming up with these off the top of my head. Like I didn't write these down.
We'll flip it. I'll give you some Yankees over unders now.
Let me see. Okay.
All right. Garrett Cole. Over under. I think he struck at 235 last year. Over under 225 strikeout.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go with the under. And not because, like, again, I think he did. I thought it was like 240 last year. I think it was like 249 was his thing. Not that I don't think he's capable of doing it. I'm just playing it safe because, I mean, last year he set the Yankees single season strikeout record. I don't think he's going to do that again. Not that he's bad. I think he's going to have a bounce back year this year for sure and like limit the home runs. But 225 is a tall order, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Aaron Judge over under 49.5 home runs.
I'm gonna take the over. I think he's gonna hit like 52.
Okay. All right.
He's gonna hit over 50.
I don't I 50 seems like a sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm a little. I think though I think he'll definitely have. Obviously, he's not gonna hit 62 again, but I am concerned that he'll have a little less because apparently he changed his approach and did like a Paul Goldschmidt a 2-strike approach. He changed, so he's changed that up a little bit because of he asked Paul Goldschmidt like what his approach is because he's had more swing and misses. So I think in a lot of those cases, instead of like just going for the home run and running into one every once in a while, he's gonna hit a lot more base hits, a lot more singles and doubles, which is great. Like that's awesome, but I think that might bring down his home run
I
total.
want to hear people flipping out if he has 40 home runs this year. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
no. Like if he gets like 40, 45,
yeah, it's
49
great.
home runs, I'm super satisfied.
All right. Let's see. Yankees over under 95 wins.
I'm gonna take the over on that. We got 99 last year. I think we're still capable, especially with Carlos Rodon now in the rotation, like back help Bader. I think the team is better than they were last year. Like, because people forget, like I was thinking about this before, but I mean the Yankees in the beginning of the season last year were insane, like on a historic pace, and they were historically one of the worst teams in August. I don't think that historically worst thing is going to happen again. I hope not, but I don't think they're going to do that again. I think about 98, 99, maybe 100 wins. I think they're capable of doing that again with the upgrades they made.
Aaron Boone over under 3.5 ejections.
Oh, smash the over on that dude. He's always like the most ejected coach in the league. That's easy. That's easy.
Let's see. Anthony Volpe over under 280 average.
I'm gonna show confidence in the kid, and I'm gonna go over. I think he's gonna have a tough April though. He's gonna have a tough April out of the gate. Like I think he's gonna hit like 230 at the end of April, end of May, and then I think he's gonna like turn it on come June, July.
All three top Mets prospects played like 20 games last year. All of them hit under 170, so it's tough adjustment.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. But at the same time, I thought he was gonna do as good as he did in spring training. He hit like 315 or whatever it was, 297, whatever it was.
All right, last one. Stanton over under 112 games played.
I'm going to take the over. I'm going to be positive. And hope that he plays in all these games because I think the Yankees claim, Aaron Boone claims that he's going to get like 50, 60 games in right field. So you got to think he's going to at least play 60 more as a DH. I'm hoping. So I'm gonna be confident in Stanton. I think the more he plays in the field, because honestly, last year, I mean, he had that tough little break in the middle of the season where he missed like 3 or 4 weeks, but for the most part, I thought he was. I know his numbers maybe weren't as great as they have been in the past, but like I thought he was fine as far as like injuries are concerned. And I think him playing more right field now that that's a little bit more open with Judge either moving to center or left, like I kind of like him out there in right field. I think it'll help get. I got one more for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Injuries to starters over under 4 for the Mets.
No, over.
Not starting pitchers, just like starting players.
Starting players. I'll take the over 4, but I don't think there'll be like 4 season-ending injuries. Just I mean, 162 games. Even if you're on the injured list for 10 days, like whatever. Like
yeah, okay,
happens.
I can see that.
Okay.
Okay.
Time for some division predictions.
Let's do it.
All right, let's start. We'll start. We'll go division by division. We don't have to talk at length about some of the divisions we don't really care about.
Yeah.
AL East. Who's your winner?
AL East.
Let's do winner and bold prediction for each of the divisions.
All right, so we're going AL East.
Let's start with the AL East.
AL East, Yankees division winner for me. Are we just doing like a bold winner prediction, like any bold prediction?
Just either.
All right, I'm gonna go with my bold prediction. Orioles make the playoffs.
Orioles make the playoffs. All right. I think the Blue Jays are gonna win the AL East.
Okay.
And the hype is off the Blue Jays for some reason. They're better than they were last year when everyone thought they were gonna win 100 games. And my bold prediction: the Tampa Bay Rays make the ALCS.
They are pesky. My one thing was going to be that the Rays sneak in and win the division. So
I think the Rays are going to limp into the playoffs. as the bottom seed and then tear through. Shane McClanahan, Tyler Glasnow, Boz, and Zach Eflin came over from the Phillies, and people are like,
That's huge. He's
why would
such
they
a Rays guy. He's such a
why would
Rays
they
guy.
pay him 15 million a year? Well, his curveball spin this spring is ridiculous. He is going to have it. He's going to finish in the top 10 or 15 of the Cy Young race now. That's 4 bona fide starters. He's the highest paid player or free agent contract in Rays history.
Yeah.
Out. I just saw the Rays play last weekend. Watch out.
There you go. All right, you're high on them because they might bring up Tosh Bradley at some point. Tosh Bradley's like a high. Yeah,
they got a lot of prospects. Tropicana Field is underrated. After going there,
stop. I don't want to hear it.
No, dude. After going there, it's actually very fan friendly. I like it.
Fan friendly, yeah, but I feel like it's like a dump. I hate the ceiling, the skywalks on the ceiling, messing with fly balls. That's the worst.
It's a lot. It actually feels nicer when you're in it than when you're watching a game in there.
Okay, I might have to go down there and watch a game then. Were tickets cheap? They got to be so cheap.
Yeah, they weren't very expensive. Probably like $20 to them.
All right, that's what I imagine. All right, you want to do AL Central?
Yeah, Central.
Let's go.
All right, division winner, Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
I feel like people are way too high on the Guardians after last year. If the White Sox can stay healthy, Jimenez, Luis Robert, Andrew Vaughn's gonna have a big year. Tim Anderson, and their pitching staff's underrated. Dylan Cease would have won the Cy Young if Verlander didn't have one of the best years ever last year. Lance Lynn's is pesky veteran pitcher. Lucas Giolito has to bounce back. He's like an every other year all-star kind of guy. That's 3 good starters. If Liam Hendricks can come back, I know he's battling leukemia right now, which is terrible.
Yeah.
If he can come back towards the playoffs or end of the season, they got a good closer. Big bounce back out of them. In my bold prediction, Carlos Correa gets hurt 5 times, and I laugh every single one of them. No, I don't wish injury.
You're Carlos. Come on, you can't wish injury. Wishing injury is like such a bad thing.
No, I don't wish injury on people. I don't think Carlos Correa is. I think this year, just because everyone talked about his ankle and how bad it is all offseason, he's actually going to stay healthy the whole season.
Imagine.
But I think my bold prediction is that this one's tough, but I like Shane Bieber a lot this year. I think people are kind of down on him after the last year for some reason, just because he didn't strike out as many guys. I think Shane Bieber's back, and we're talking about him like a top 5 pitcher in the big leagues.
Okay. I like that. I like Shane Bieber a lot. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was slept on. I don't know why that they didn't start him in the game 5 against the Yankees. I think that lost in the series. Like, they had a serious shot. I mean, it wasn't Yankee Stadium, but how do you not start Shane Bieber's short rest in game 5?
Worst game I've ever attended.
Yeah, that's bad. Oh, I'm sure you loved it. I know you're a Yankee fan at heart, deep down. Deep down. Garrett Cole fan, deep down. We got to get you a Garrett Cole jersey.
Good.
Gotta get you Garrett Cole jersey. My prediction, I'm gonna ride the high of the Cleveland Guardians after watching them play against us, and like I still have trauma of a fly ball going to left field. Shallow left. That's just I can't.
Oscar Gonzalez, baby, play the SpongeBob theme song.
Brings back trauma, dude. So I'm gonna go with the Guardians. My bold prediction, though, I think the Kansas City Royals are gonna finish in 3rd.
Okay.
In the division.
Ahead of the Twins and Royals?
Yeah. No, I'm saying the Royals will finish in 3rd.
Yeah, but you think like they'll finish ahead of the Twins and Royals?
No,
in Tigers.
Yes, yeah. So Royals, I think it's like Guardians, White Sox, Royals, Twins, Tigers.
Yeah, I don't even forgot about the Tigers. They don't even exist.
Yeah, exactly. They're relevant. So
all right. AL West division winner, the Houston Astros.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Mariners may make it further than the Astros once it comes. Actually, I'll stick with the Astros. They win the division every year. Even though Altuve's out right now, they win the division every year. My bold prediction, the Los Angeles Angels make the playoffs.
Okay, I like that.
Shohei is going to have an awesome year. Mike Trout, MVP form. They finally find some consistency, and they're buyers at the deadline to upgrade that starting rotation, and they limp into the playoffs as the bottom seed.
All right, I like that. I think there's a serious chance. I want to see them in the playoffs, so I think this is their year to do it. I'm gonna just to go different from you. I'm gonna pick the Mariners. I think they have all the tools to do it. Like if they don't do it now, especially after the Astros lost Verlander and they're kind of retooling their outfield a little bit. If it's now, it's now or never. You know what I mean? For the Mariners, I think they have a really serious shot to do it, and I think they do it. My bold prediction: I think the Texas Rangers are going to be super disappointing. I think they're going to finish like 4th place. Nothing against Jacob deGrom or anything. He's probably going to get hurt. They're one of the most boring teams in baseball. There's just no personality on that roster. Not that decides records, but I don't know. yeah, you have Corey Seager and you have Marcus Simeon, but I don't see them as a team that could really get it done, in my opinion.
Yeah, that division's way better. All right, and at least the
Ready?
New York Mets win the division. I feel like this is actually almost perfect. This is the perfect Mets scenario because now with the Diaz injury and some of the other things going on, people think they're the third best team in the division. That's when the Mets get you. The Mets, if the hot dogs, are scary. I hate when the Mets are like the team everyone like is on the bandwagon of because that's when it always crumbles and everyone makes fun of them. Now it feels like expectations are lower. Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer, everyone has talked at length about how these two are just going to combust and fall apart. These two both have mostly healthy seasons, both finish in the top 5 in the Cy Young race. Lindor wins the NL MVP. The New York Mets are the division champs.
Okay. All right. That's a homer pick. You said you weren't going to do a homer pick, and you did.
Well, I did this.
Oh, you said not World Series.
Yeah. This is just beliefs. I'm just thinking.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with the Braves. I think the Braves are too good to lose the division to the Mets again. Although I think the Mets I think it's like such an easy flip-flop. I think they're really evenly matched teams. I think my bold prediction, I think the Nats are going to actually be like kind of decent. Like, I don't know if they're going to finish out of last place, but like, I don't know. I just have this feeling that like Joey Meneses is going to like rake. And I think there's a shot maybe they finish above the Marlins. I'm really not high on the Marlins like at all.
Yeah, I'm actually, if you want a bold prediction for me, I mean, Lindor winning the NL MVP was kind of a bold prediction. If you want my bold prediction, it's the Marlins finish over 500. I love that starting rotation. I think the lineup is finally improved. They got some dudes in there. I don't like that they're all playing out of position. I think this is the year the Marlins finally step up.
See, I like their rotation. I just don't like their lineup like at all.
I think their lineups finally, they got some guys. Luis Ariz, I think that's a big addition. Gene Segura, they're older guys, so I could see them kind of falling off, but I like them right now.
You know, it'll be an interesting storyline to watch. Luis Ariz versus Jeff McNeil for the batting title.
Title in the NL now. It's intriguing. Luis Ariz found some power in the World Baseball Classic. He hit some monster shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Marlins need. They need somebody like that. Real quick, before we finish up these rankings, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for hanging with us through that quick little break. Let's get back into it. NL Central predictions. Zach, what do you got?
Milwaukee Brewers win the NL Central.
Mm.
Everybody loves the Cardinals. They're like, the Cardinals have the deepest lineup in baseball. Can't stand the St. Louis Cardinals. Milwaukee Brewers, Corbin Burns, NL Cy Young Award winner this season. Corbin Burns.
Okay.
Brandon Woodruff. That's as good of a 1-2 as you're going to find. Devin Williams taking over the closer role. Rowdy Tellez, as Keith Hernandez called him, a big sausage last year. Sliced home run. Brewers led the NL in home runs last year. Willie Adames, a home run dude.
That's my Willie Adames. So there's a couple guys I love. One of them is Jose Ramirez, and another one is Willie Adames. I think Willie Adames is mad underrated.
Dude, they missed the playoffs last year. They're like the Tampa Bay Rays. They don't have 2 bad years in a row. They're so analytically driven. They traded Josh Hader last year, and everyone's like, what the hell? Oh, new catcher, William Contreras, all-star last year. I love everything the Brewers are doing. I don't like that they spend $0 ever, but I think the Milwaukee Brewers win the division. I'm not bullish on the Cardinals. I love their lineup, especially with Wilson Contreras. But I hate their pitching staff. Yeah. Miles Michaelis is starting opening day. They're relying on Adam Wainwright, Dakota Hudson. They got blown out by the Phillies in the wild card last year. I don't like it. I think that my bold prediction, they missed the playoffs.
I think they are going to win the division, but I don't think like they're going to be a very good team. Like I just think that they're in a weak division. And I think a lot of people are going to beat up on the NL Central just because the way that the schedule is now, where like everybody plays each other. I think the win totals are going to be a lot less for everybody in that division, but I still think that the Cardinals have enough talent as far as lineup goes and like defensively to make up for that. I think my bold prediction, I've always wanted like the Cubs and hope that the Cubs do good.
I know you were on that bandwagon last year.
Dude, I was on that bandwagon last year, and I am a stout Nico Hoerner hater just because like the Cubs, dude, I was doing a game, cutting a highlight for a game the other day, and it was a Cubs spring training game. And I kid you not, they're hyping up like all the Gold Glovers that are on the field. And there is a future Gold Glover this season, Nico Hoerner. I was like, I had enough of this guy. He doesn't do anything.
He just signed an extension yesterday or 2
I
days ago.
know. Yeah, and he got like $35 million for like 3
Yeah.
years. I mean, this guy's done nothing. So I am a hater of Nico Horner, but I do think the Cubs are good. Like, I don't think, see, I think only one team is going to make the, no, actually, no, maybe two teams are going to make the playoffs from this division. But
I only got one out of that division, but watch out for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not to make the playoffs. Watch out for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think
Joy, huge addition.
they're much better than people think. Brian Hayes and O'Neill Cruz a shortstop third base combo. That's one of the best young left sides of the infield. Watch out. Carlos Santana, sneaky veteran addition. I just they're another team. Oh, Andrew McCutchen's back. Watch out. I think they're gonna hover around the 500 mark, and they're gonna be one of those teams who in September, if they're on your schedule, they're gonna ruin your season.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I think they're going to be dangerous and just like upset teams left and right. I do have a bold prediction though. If the Brewers aren't good, Christian Yelich is going to be a New York Yankee. That's my prediction.
Dude, I wouldn't want Christian Yelich. He's so bad right now.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like a lefty power in the short porch. Plus, we need a left fielder. His defense is good. I would take that.
He's got a fat contract though.
Yeah, but again, that's something the Yankees can pay.
Yeah.
You get rid of Josh Donaldson, I'd take his contract on.
NOS.
West. Man, I think it's gonna be the Padres. That's the obvious answer. But I think the Arizona Diamondbacks are gonna be a super pesky team this year.
Don't be stealing my bold prediction.
Oh, come on now. Is that like you're gonna say they're pesky? That's your bold? Yeah. They're super pesky, dude. Their pitching staff is so sick.
I love the Diamondbacks. That trade they made, even though they gave up Dalton Varsho, who I think should be awesome for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
To get Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno. I love that. Their pitching staff, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly. I love that. Bumgarner, doom. He's bound for a bounce back season.
Yeah.
Too. And their lineup's deep. Corbin Carroll, Jimmy's boy. He's gonna rake this season.
Dude, Corbin Carroll, I hate the dude in MLB The Show because his speed is ridiculous. But yeah, I think he's gonna be sick this year.
I had Christian Walker hit like 30-something bombs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky team. I love it. My only concern about them is that everyone keeps saying they're a sneaky team. And usually when everyone's on the bandwagon of a team being a sneaky team, they are not a sneaky team.
Very true.
But I think they'll hover around. I think they'll finish third in the division.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think they're gonna be I think they're gonna be like you said with the Pirates, like that team where you play them late in the season and they just steal games from you. Like I think that's what they're gonna be this year.
And I think the Padres will win the division. They just have too much talent.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers are gonna suck.
I don't think the Dodgers are going to suck, but I think the Padres will work. I think the Dodgers are going to be the Phillies of last year. They're going to be 88 in wins, and everyone's going to be like, they won 110 last year. They're going to win 88 games and get into the playoffs, and that's the last team you want to play in the playoff.
Yeah. That's a good prediction. I like that. All right, so let's jump into predictions for the AL and the NL as far as I guess World Series. You wanna start us off? We can start with the NL.
All right. Well, I'll give you based off all my predictions. So my NL, my division winners, I got the Mets, the Brewers, and the Padres. My wild cards, I have the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Braves. Okay. Those are the 6 teams. So the same 6 teams, except the Cardinals are out. I think the Padres will be the number 1 seed in the National League.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Mets will be the number 2 seed. I see it in the wild card round. We'll say the Brewers are the 3 seed. The Dodgers take the Brewers out in round 1 because the Dodgers are the last team you want to play in the playoffs. I think the Phillies take out the Braves in the playoffs because the Phillies know how to win in October.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Padres take out the Phillies. The Mets take out the Dodgers. The NLCS, the New York Mets take out the San Diego Padres.
Stop. See, you said you weren't going to do this, and you did.
I'm just thinking. I'm just being honest. I don't like the Padres when it comes to winning the World Series. I think they're too hyped up. They have a lot of stars. I'm not seeing it. I think I like the Mets rotation, especially come there. They're deep. They have veteran experience. Everyone ragged on Verlander because he doesn't know how to win in the postseason. But he won in the postseason last year. Mets get to the World Series. In the AL, I have the Blue Jays winning the AL East, the White Sox winning the Central, and the Astros winning the West. I told you I have the Rays in the playoffs, and I also have the Angels and the Mariners. That means the New York Yankees are not making the playoffs.
Stop. That's a joke. That's
not a joke. That's not
ridiculous. That's egregious. That's egregious.
You have 2 healthy starters. You have a starting rotation that has Clark Schmidt.
Yeah, but Rodon's going to be back by like April.
And Domingo Germán, he's going to get hurt again.
Stop.
And Domingo Germán. Look at Carlos.
He's going to get hurt again. If we're talking about getting hurt, then we're not going to talk about Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer getting hurt.
They don't get hurt. They're fine. It was just 1 year.
They're fine. They're
There's
fine.
something to help Chris Smith.
Even if they are fine, it's clear that Max Scherzer can't pitch playoff baseball for the New York Mets. Had a terrible time last year.
Because he was hurt.
Mhm. Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
All right, so the Yankees aren't in the playoffs. So the number 1 seed, we'll go. The Rays take out the White Sox in round 1. The Los Angeles Angels lose to the Mariners. In round 2, the Mariners take out the Blue Jays. And the Tampa Bay Rays take out the Houston Astros. The Rays play the Mariners in the ALCS, and the Seattle Mariners move on to play the New York Mets in the World Series.
Okay. All right. So I hate some of your, obviously I hate the Yankees part of it, but the other part, some of it I actually agree with. I do think I could totally see a Mets Padres playoff series happen again. I know you just want the revenge on Joe Musgrove, even though he didn't cheat. He plays clean baseball. Clean
Bullshit.
baseball.
No.
Yeah, clean baseball. But I think I could totally see too, like a Phillies Padres rematch in the NLCS as well. I do think I don't want to buy into the Padres bandwagon, but like the more that we sit here and we talk about these teams, and I don't want to pick the Phillies again to make it either. Like I think they were a fluke last year, and I think they will be a better team this year than they were last year. But I don't think they're going to repeat and make it to the World Series again. I'm going to go with the Padres. I feel like I kind of have to. I'll take that front runner choice there. And then I wouldn't be surprised, though, if the Phillies or the Braves make it. I don't have enough trust in the Mets starters, honestly, to go that far. We'll see. We'll see. Kodai Senga and his ghost fork might be a difference maker.
Watch out for the Dodgers. That's what I'm telling you. Just watch
Okay,
out.
no. I think if they do make it, yeah, I think they're
And
going to be.
I think they'll make it. They Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, I can see it. No, I can see it. Jumping over, though, to the AL, I think I'm going to go with a Yankees Mariners ALCS. New York Yankees win in 6 games. Yankees Padres World Series. It's the World Series the world wants to see. New York Yankees hoist number 28.
Oh, so we're both going chalky here with our team.
Well, that's, after the Yankees made some acquisitions on the trade deadline,
Yeah, after the New York Mets acquired Pittsburgh Pirates closer David Bednar at the trade deadline. After the
that would be such an elite get for the Mets. That would be insane.
The New York Mets go out and acquire Shohei. No, I already said the Angels in the playoffs.
Oh, the Yankees trade for Christian Yelich at the trade deadline? Yeah.
That's not going to help. After the Mets go out and acquire David Bednar at the trade deadline, and they get a big bat. Let me think. Who's this big bat?
Aaron Ruff is available.
Aaron Ruff is not available. The Mets go out and acquire a big bat. They hoist number 3.
That's so sad, dude. That's so sad. Number 3, dude. That is
they hoist number 3.
Couldn't be the
Francisco Lindor wins NL MVP, NLCS MVP, and World Series MVP.
That's so sad. Number 3.
Number 3. And my overall awards, I think Corbin Burns has an awesome year and wins the NL Cy Young. Especially, remember that?
A lot of people are high on Corbin Burns.
That little press conference he gave where he was like, I can't believe the Brewers took me to arbitration to try to win $250,000 less in my salary or whatever.
Yeah.
He's pissed. He's going to have a great year. Lindor wins NL MVP. In the AL, Ohtani's just a lock for AL MVP.
Yeah.
And the AL Cy Young Award winner,
Garrett Cole.
I'm thinking here.
You want to say Garrett Cole, but you know you can't say it, but like in your heart, you're like, it's going to be
the Yankees aren't in the playoffs, so Garrett Cole's more getting run out of town than the AL Cy Young Award winner, Jacob deGrom.
You're a Mets homer even when he's not on your team.
No, it's just gonna hurt. Jacob deGrom being the AL Cy Young is just gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, but eventually when he comes back home to the Mets in like a few years, you'll be like,
But if you like my runners up for both of these, Max Scherzer, I think people just hate on him for his last Padres performance. I think people forget how freaking good he was last season.
Yeah.
My runner up in the AL is Garrett Cole.
Okay, nice. You wanted to say he was going to win.
I strongly and to be honest, if Garrett Cole and Jacob deGrom are coming down the stretch neck and neck to win the AL Cy Young, I am a Garrett Cole fanboy. I am a Garrett Cole fanboy. I think I like.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right, let's say like the last month of the season, it's between Garrett Cole and Jacob deGrom. Garrett Cole wins. I think you should have to buy a Garrett Cole jersey.
Fine.
Let's go. It can be
Garrett Cole wins
DHA.
this.
Matt, you can
Garrett
be like
Cole,
$20. Get
if
your
Garrett
jersey.
Cole wins the AL Cy Young Award, Jarek will buy me a Garrett Cole jersey.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Derek will get you. Derek got you.
And if the Mets win the World Series or Max Scherzer wins the NL Cy Young, you have to buy a Red Sox jersey.
Come on, you can't do Red Sox. You can't do Red Sox.
All right,
I was fair. I gave you my team.
you have to buy a Mets jersey of my choice.
Fair. It's fair.
I don't know who the player is yet. It's going to be the one that you like the least by the end of the year.
Okay.
My choice.
All right, that's fair. I'm down. I'm down for that. See, you can't make me do Reds. That's like me making you get a Brave. Come on.
See, the bold predictions kind of hurt me because I accidentally said a couple too many teams are going to the playoffs, and now the Angels are having a better season than the Yankees. Which I'll ride with it. We could talk about this all year. The Angels and their terrible pitching staff is having a better year.
Terrible pitching staff, exactly.
The Angels and their terrible pitching staff having a great season, and I doubt they'll be better than the Yankees. I more meant the Angels. My bold prediction was the Angels make the playoffs because I think.
Right. I respect. You got to own up to it. You got to.
I'll own up to it. I said they were going to do it, so I'll take it. And the Yankees not making the playoffs for me, it's all health related.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really have 3 starting pitchers who miss a chunk of the season, you're not making the playoffs. It's just just impossible to miss. So we'll see. If the Yankees start fast, they're making the playoffs. If they start slow, it's going to be a concern.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can kind of agree with that.
They're going to have one of those trade deadlines if they want to be a serious World Series contender where they almost rebuild their entire team.
Yeah, I can. I kind of see where you're going. I see where you're going. I think the pitching staff will be fine come May. I think we're gonna have no problems. I mean, maybe Severino's gonna be out, but I think you're gonna see Cole, Rodon, Nestor in 3 days. And
don't get me wrong, I picked the Yankees to miss the playoffs, but I'll be more than happy if they lose to the Mets in the World Series.
Okay, I'm sure you would.
And I would personally, for like all of us, I'd love to see that World Series.
I'm sure. No, I'm sure. I mean, that would. Wouldn't have to twist your arm for it to see that.
I mean, I think people like if there was New York in the World Series, people wouldn't watch. If there's New York in the World Series, there'd be more viewers than Yankees Dodgers.
Yeah, it would be record numbers. It would actually be record numbers.
You're talking Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, ex-teammates, Max Scherzer, Carlos Rodon. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Godai Senga, the whole country of Japan watching.
Yeah, it would be crazy, dude. It would really be. I would love to see that. Real quick, before we finish up, though, I want to get my awards. MVP, AL MVP, it's going to be Ohtani. I don't think there's any doubt about that. For AL, Cy Young. I have a hot take here. So it's between, I think, Garrett Cole and Luis Castillo.
Okay.
I think Luis Castillo is going to have a really good year. I'm high on the Mariners, and I love Luis Castillo. He had a great year last year that I don't think we talked about enough. And I think him having a full season now on a really good Seattle Mariners team, I think he's going to carry that team a lot. I think he's going to be really, really, really good.
Yeah, have them in the World Series, so I'm all for them.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. When it goes to the NL, man, this is tough. This is really tough. I think when it comes to MVP, I'm going to go, okay, I have a bold prediction because I feel like in the end, it's always somebody like somebody random always like comes out of nowhere. Like last year, Paul Goldschmidt kind of came out of nowhere. I have a hot take here. Austin Riley. Austin Riley, NL MVP.
Hate that.
Yeah, you kind of see it though, couldn't you?
No.
Yeah, you can see it. You can totally see that.
No.
Yeah. All right, so going to then who I think is going to be the NL Cy Young Award winner. I do like your Corbin Burns pick. I think that's a really nice pick. But I think I could totally see somebody winning it out of the Padres too. Whether it's someone like a Joe Musgrove or Yu Darvish, someone like that, I think I can kind of see coming out of nowhere.
I think there's 4 guys I could see winning the NL Cy Young. Yeah. Corbin Burns. I'd be less than shocked if Sandy went back-to-back.
Sandy, totally. Yeah.
And I could see Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander winning it just because also it's a narrative-driven award.
Yeah.
One of those 4. I think those are the 4. And if I'm looking for a 5th, Aaron Nola is just the most disrespected pitcher in the big leagues year after year. I didn't
even think of him. That's actually good. I'll make that my pick. I'm gonna steal that from you. I'm gonna go to Aaron Nola.
Spencer Strider, the love he gets for half a good season, I can't rip that mustache off your face, bro. Like I can't stand that. I don't think so. Those are the five I like. And Zach Wheeler, it just pains me how good Zach Wheeler is now.
Yeah, he's
It
so good.
pains me how good he is. Like the fact that we let him walk out the door is just painful.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. But all right, I think did we cover everything we want to before opening day? I'm ready for opening day to kick off tomorrow. I'm super excited.
Yeah, stay tuned on TikTok. We'll get some series previews, series recaps, maybe some game recaps. Tonight I'll throw up my full MLB predictions so that it's out there for the world to come back to in a couple months.
To come back to and roast and be like, what was this guy thinking? Kind of like what happened with your March Madness bets, over under bets and winners.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I mean, it was really just day one. We
Yeah.
we
You were in the gutter though. Day one, you were in the gutter.
Day one, I was like 3-11.
Yeah,
After that, we were solid. We rocked.
Historically bad day one though.
The picks were there. I can't even, like, it was ridiculous. I lost so many bets on buzzer beaters, like weird fouls, 0.1 teams going. It happens. It's just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm super excited for open day. Maybe we could do one next week. We do another podcast next week or the week after, kind of wrapping up the first week or two of
recap. I'm sure it'll be fun. We could be down in the dumps next week. Giants and Phillies for the Yankees to start the season. How about that?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the Giants, but I am concerned about the Phillies. I want to try. Hopefully, if I'm off next week one day, I'm trying to get out to a game. We'll see.
Mets got the Marlins, Brewers, and then Marlins again.
We should go on opening day.
Very odd start. I know Mets are away the first two series. Weird road trip, Miami.
I know. Home opener. I mean, you should go to.
I think we might be getting a Corbin Burns, Max Scherzer showdown next week.
Wow, that'd be great. That'd be sick. That's where you should go.
If Scherzer beats Sandy and Corbin to start the year, he's the favorite for the NL Cy Young.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching us, and stay tuned. We're going to have a full season for you of great content we're super excited about. So, yeah, I think you guys are really going to like it, and see you soon.